Profit score per trade is 25%, which means even if you're on multiple stacking position, it shouldn't exceed 25% of the account. Okay, you can open 5 positions for all of them. So once you open 6, you've breached the account. Every single person want to get funded fast, and I mean very fast. They don't want to pass a situation whereby they want to be passing the prop firm challenge, doing some evaluation. That is why TenTrade came into the board. TenTrade is one of the prop firm that offer instant challenges, like they are known for instant challenges. This way you tend to buy the account and you start trading immediately. Now every single person rush to this, but then some are retreating. Now I'm going to be sharing you the advantage of using TenTrade, the disadvantage of using TenTrade, and the rules that are really choking, and as well the rules that are really good. Of course, we're going to be dissecting this prop firm and we're going to be checking out if it is a prop firm to actually give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. But then we'll see the advantages and every single thing that they have to offer, and also checking out the reviews from traders who have traded this prop firm, so you tend to have the insight from experienced traders. Without further ado, if you have any question, let me know in the comment section. If you have any prop firm we're going to be reviewing, let us see what you've got there and we can help you check if it is actually a good prop firm that you can work with and get payout. Let us go. TenTrade Funded Trader Program. Now, in order for you to get an account with them, you just have to apply to become a funded trader, and you get straight up right there. And how do you apply? By filling out that form. You click on it and then you fill out this form and every single thing you need. And if you want to get an instant account, this is it right here. You just have to scroll down and then you go through this. Let us go straight up. Now, they have micro account, mini account, bronze account, silver account, gold account, diamond and master account, which is up to $500,000. You can have up to $500,000 using TenTrade, and this is really wild. But then let us check exactly what we need to use to pass this account or get funded with TenTrade. If the rules is actually reasonable, we're going to find out. If the rules is not, we're also going to be spilling the beans right here. Account size $1,000, $3,000, $10,000, $30,000. Gold is $90,200. And so what I see here is they have the space of 1,000 to 3,000, all right, to 10,000. Then 10,000 times 3, 30,000. 30,000 times 3, 90,000. 90,000 times 3, 270. 270 times 3, let us see. That's like 6 something. But let us see, 27 times 3. I want to be sure of my math. That's 810. Okay, it is that one to just make it 500,000. But nevertheless, what are the rules? Monthly target, none, which means you don't have to have a particular target for the month. You can just trade any amount and make any amount. Remember, it is instant funding, which means you just trade straight up without any evaluation. Standard payout, 15 days, which means it needs 15 days before you can actually get a payout, which is actually bi-weekly, just like other prop firms, so it is standard. Profit target for scaling. Now, what does this profit target for scaling means? To be more precise, you need to get to a particular amount before you can get increment in your in your account balance. All right, that is what scaling means. If you want to scale your account, that is, you want to use one account to get to a very big account balance, which means, let's say you start with 10K and you want to get to 15K without buying another 15K account, then you have to trade to some certain amount before you can be scaled up. Now, with the 1K account, you cannot get scaling. 3K, you can't get scaling. But 10K, you can get scaling, but you need to get to $1,000 at least, which is 10% that is required for the scaling. 30,000, you need to get to 10%, which means you need to have made up to $3,000 before you can get scaled up, which means that scaling is, if you make $3,000, you can be scaled up to 10%, which is $33,000. You're going to be getting like 10% added, right? Now, gold is $90,000. You need 10%. So the only two ones that don't have scaling is the 1,000 and the 3,000. The rest is 10%, which means even to this $500,000, you need to make at least $50,000 before you can be scaled up. And the scaling up, you're going to apply for it. Now, maximum drawdown is 9% for the account. Very reasonable. Now, $1,000, 9% is $90. 10% is $100, but this is $90, which means you cannot blow $90 away. If not, you're done. This one is $9, which means you cannot blow more than 9% from this as well, which is about, I think, $270. I don't really know. Let us check. We have to check and be precise. $30,000 times for 10% is $300, which means 9% minus 30 is what? 270. I'm correct. Now, this one, 10%, the overall drawdown for a $10,000 account is 8%. Bro, the higher the account, the lower the drawdown. The higher the account, the lower the drawdown. The higher the account, the lower the drawdown. Okay, it's not bad. But then, for a 30K account, remember it's instant funding. So that is why these things are applied like this. If it is an evaluation account, you get a standard. But then you look at the instant funding, which is 7% for a 30K, which means $30,000 times 0.07. What is your overall drawdown? Only $2,100. Wow. You can only get $2,100 out of this 30K. Bro, that is small. It's too small. $90,000, 5%. $90,000, 9K, that is $4,500. If it was 10%, it would have been $9,000, but now it is half the 10%, which is now $4,500 from a 90,000, all the way from 90,000. So this 90,000 is just sugar coated. This one now is 5%. So 5% from 90K is just 4,500. That is what you have overall, not even daily drawdown. This one to 5%, this one to 5%. Okay, the highest is 9%, which is the smaller account. Of course, people that are going to be going for this one are people that are just starting out, but people who have gotten experience in the game that need fast money, they're going to be going for these big ones, and then the drawdown is very, very small. People with evaluations accounts with about 400K evaluation account, and you pass the challenge and every single thing, bro, you can make a lot of money from that. Daily drawdown is 6%. Now look at what I said. If this one is overall drawdown 5%, meaning the daily drawdown, you can see it is 3%. Ah, nah, bro. Instant funding, this is what you get when you're using instant funding. If you go to live accounts, if you go to funded accounts like percentage gain, you're going to be seeing 5% for daily and then 10% for overall. But then it is instant. That is what you need to understand. Minimum trading days is 5 all the way till 90. 5 trading days, which means you need to trade at least 5 times. Remember, it is instant funding. So, but then you need to trade 5 times. You're not trying to pass a challenge, right? You need to trade 5 days, not 5 times. Like if you trade 5 times in today, no, it's not counted. You need to trade 5 days, 5 trading days, which means Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I understand that they have consistency rule. Consistency rule in the sense that they have a consistency rule for lot sizing. All right, consistency rule for lot sizing. We're going to be seeing it, and also we're going to be seeing their consistent payout. That's their consistency rule in payout as well. Now, max position opening. You can only open 5 positions here. Those of you that usually go stacking up, you can only open 5 positions with the $1,000 account all the way to, okay, you can open 5 positions for all of them. So once you open 6, you've breached the account. Lot size. Now, this is what I said. You need to have a consistency rule for lot sizing when you're using TenTrade. Lot size is 0.01 to 0.1, which is from 10 cents to $1 per pip. What does this mean? It means that if you're following your own system and you desire to go hard, you cannot go hard past $1 per pip. And that $1 per pip, you need to be very, very careful so you don't breach your drawdown for the day. And your drawdown, your daily drawdown is 6% for a 1K account, but for bigger account is 3%. And look at what they said. From here, 0.01 to 0.1, which is 10 cents to $1 per pip. 10 cents, yeah. 50 cents to $2 per pip, $1 per pip to $5 per pip, $3 per pip to a standard lot, $5 per pip to $15 per pip, which is 1.5 standard. Then the one with $270,000 account, you cannot use past $50 per pip. Then the one of $500,000, you cannot use past $100 per pip, which is that's 10 standard. If you like it, you can go for it. If you don't like it, bro, you need to look out for better evaluation accounts. Now, this one is for prop firm, which this one is for Forex. Then for indices, they have the consistency rule on indices as well, which I don't know much about indices, so I'm going to be skipping that. Now, profit cap. What is profit cap? Profit cap means 10% of the initial capital, which is $100. You need to make $100 max. That is the max, the cap, $100 max. Now there is even something that is very, very tricky at this point. $10, $10, 10%, I mean, across all of them. Now, stacking consistency rule with what I'm seeing right here, X every single thing. Now, profit score maximum per trade and day. Now, what does this mean? Pay attention to this. The profit score maximum per trade and day is 25%, which means if your trade is rolling in profit, it shouldn't exceed 25% of the initial account, which is 25% of this is $250. 25% is $250 and it shouldn't exceed it. Anything that you do that makes it exceed it, you are breaching the rule. We're done for trading for the day, as you can see right there. So if you're following up with the challenge, you should understand why we're trading once a day. Now, back to this. Profit cap, 10%, everything like that. The profit score per trade is 25%, which means even if you're on multiple stacking position, it shouldn't exceed 25% of the account. And 25% is $250 with a $1,000 account. Then you might want to do your calculation all the way to this point. And that way it's going to be clearer. So the most annoying part of all this is, according to a review, I'm going to be showing you that review, but here it says profit cap per payout is 10%. So now what this means is, even if you make 25% of your capital, you can only get a 10% payout, which means if you make $250, which is 25%, you can only get what? $100. Now, that is not even what is annoying. What is annoying the most is if you get 10%, the remaining profit is forfeited, allegedly, according to what I saw on a review. According to what I saw on the review, 10%. So if you make any profit like this, if you surpass 10%, you cannot get the payout on per payout. That is payout per one. Now, trading period is unlimited. You can trade as much time as you want. What I like about this is it has the leverage, which is 0 to 1 to 100 all across. At least the leverage is not very low, but then they've already given you the consistency lot size rule, so it is still the same thing. All right, it's still the same thing, because what is leverage power? Leverage has the ability to make you take huge lot size trades, but then they've already given you a consistency lot size here. They've given it to you already. So why is the leverage now 1 to 100? That's why I say you need to be very, very smart whenever you're selecting prop firm. Profit split is 70-30. It's quite reasonable. And then the registration fee, which they say is one time, is $43. Now, what is my verdict on this one? With what I'm seeing right here, one thing you should understand is whenever you're taking a prop firm, know the rules. If you know the rules, it is going to make you avoid lots of mistakes, and you're going to understand what you're doing so you don't fall victim of unnecessary breach of account. Now, for this one, withdraw your profit bi-weekly once you receive the live account. Okay, this one is when you want to go for evaluation. But for the instant, that is what I am focusing on in this video. You need to understand that according to all I'm seeing here, the problem I have with them is these daily drawdowns. They're very, very low. And then the overall drawdown, because the higher the account, the lower the drawdown. And again, they used style to focus on the lot size. Now, if you're giving us a leverage of 1 to 100, why are you now giving us a lot size? But like I said, it is instant. So these are the rules you get when you're just trying to skip the process and jump into live funding, which if you have the patience, you can go for it. If you don't have the patience, just go for what? Your evaluation. Because that way, why do I use the word patient? Because lot sizing will make you want to increase the lot size hard. And if you increase the lot size very hard on this one, you're done. So you got to be smart. For me, TenTrade, using it as a day trader is not really bad. As a swing trader, you're going to be really affected. But as a scalper, it's going to be a problem for you. Now, let us go to the reviews that they have here. Now, let us start with the best review that they've got, which is the 5-star review right here. Now, TenTrade is good and is reliable if you're a disciplined trader. Exactly. Not for gamblers. I have gotten payout multiple times. Now, fast in payments and customer care are very good. Of course, that's why I said TenTrade is good, but then you need to be very, very experienced with this one. My experience on the instant prop firm and broker, I'm just going to leave that one. Now, seamless deposit, this one is broker. I trade a lot of prop firm, but I found TenTrade has been the best condition. They process the payment quickly without any delay. Customer care is very, very good. Now that is great for a review. Now let us go to the bad one. Let us see what people have to say so you can learn from it. This one is very long. I'm going to be leaving the link in the description so you can watch it yourself and read it. I'm not going to be doing that right here. Now, let's go for this one. Nonsense prop firm. If you want to make money and you don't need anyone to tell you how much you've made or you should make, avoid TenTrade. That's why I said some people are going to have a problem with this. Why? Because it is giving you a threshold, which is the 10% you need to make. If you get more than 10%, they're going to deduct those ones and then give you only 10%. Now, it said that 0.05 lot size on 3K prop firm is too much for good risk management. Can you see it? Now, I used the broker and made my first. I'm going to leave that one. They refused my withdrawal. They refused my withdrawal, reset my account, and said my trades were inconsistent. I replied that I only trade the right setup. I only place a 0.01 lot to avoid inconsistency rule violation if I couldn't find a setup in a week or I was on vacation. They said that they would contact but never did. So now what does this mean? He's talking about not bridging the inactivity rule, and again he's trying to still stay consistent. But TenTrade, they have a consistency rule and an inactivity rule, which means you need to stick around the lot size like I showed you, from 0.01 to 0.1 depending on your account size. I don't know the account size he's using, but then according to what I'm seeing here, 0.01, if it is a 1K account, it would have worked, but it is not a 1K account with what I'm seeing right here, because if it were to be a 1K, 0.01 is included into the lot size you could use in a 1K account. But now, to not bridge the inactivity rule, he used the 0.01. And according to their rule, they said if you have a higher account size, like you can see right here, a higher account size here, once your account size has surpassed $1,000, you are not allowed to use 0.01. Again, once your account has surpassed this, you cannot use 0.01 until it is 0.05. So he might have a higher account size and he then used 0.01. He breached the account. You cannot explain because you've breached the rule. Now, he's trying to avoid the inactivity violation. That is why he used it, so he doesn't lose much when he open and close the trade. And again, they said you have to be consistent with the lot size. So you understand? He is trying to avoid the inactivity rule, but then the consistency rule choked him up and then he lost his account. So look at this one, cannot withdraw more than 10%. I just hate the fact that if I cannot withdraw more than 10% of my account in a single withdrawal and the rest of the profit is forfeited. Exactly. This is what I said, and this is the review I saw. He said that if you make more than 25%, if you make more than 10%, they're going to give you only 10% that you made. So if you make, let's say you have 1K account and you made $2,000 there, they're going to give you only $100. It is that wild. So this is all you have to see. They have lots of 5-star reviews, which I would still say overall it is a good prop firm. But then if you don't have patience, if you're not a risk manager, it is not meant for you. Use the link in the description in order to grab a TenTrade account, and for sure you're going to be getting a massive discount right away, and I'm going to be seeing you in the team. In order to stay funded, join the 30-day funding program. In order to stay funded, join the 30-day funding program, and that is where I teach the practical technique that I use to get funded multiple times with prop firm, and of course teach my students in order to get funded as well. I'm going to see you in the team. Let's make this money count. If you have any question, let it roll in the comment section. And if you have any contribution and also prop firm we should look out for and break down just for you to get it, let me know in the comment section. I remain Pex, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.